JC Santana from the Institute of Human Performance, and I only got one word: drip, 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 drip. Bing! One shipment is in. This is just one of 4 boxes in the shipment, among other stuff. We haven't even undone the whole thing yet. You're going to get to see what's in here and in that bag on the next one. But I've been asked about the book in the previous segment. I talked about the book that's coming out, which was one of the books that I recommend. We don't have a working title, but I think since we don't have a working title, that means, no, wait a minute. We have a working title, we don't have a final title, right? So, like the Institute of Human Performance, that was not the original name of the gym. The gym was going to be called JC's Gym or something like that. And I wrote Institute of Human Performance to put it on a business plan that I presented to a bank, which for the loan I did not get. So the Institute of Human Performance stuck. It was perfect. It was just, okay? So for that book was Principles, Values, and Virtues, okay? Self-evident truth, live among us. That's the little byline. And I looked at it the other day because now we're in typesetting, and it's like, what's the title going to be? And I looked at it and I go, it's not pretty, but it's got teeth. I mean, it's exactly like Smart Moves. What is this? It's about smooth moves and being smarter. Yeah, let me explain how. So what's the book about? It's about principles, values, and virtues. Now, why I'm excited about the book is not because nobody's written about those things that way, but nobody's written about them and presented them in an algorithmic order that will allow you to solve any problem you have in your life. And when I say solve, I don't mean solve the end result, but move towards that. Solving for me is not solve the equation, get what you want. No, solve the equation, head in the direction of what you want. Because sometimes what you want is not what you need. And what you want at the end is not even what you want. How do you find that out? Because you are on the journey heading towards that. And on the way towards that, you often discover other things that are even more important than that. So for me, the result, okay, the product is not to get to the end of the race. It's to start the race, because usually the end is not the end. Okay, the end is a derivative of that. Okay, so anyways, it's never been written in such a form where you can put 10 principles that nobody can say they're bad, because principles are self-evident truths. Okay, they're universal truths. You don't need proof. You don't need science. Everybody goes, yep. Being honest, good. Yep. Being compassionate, good. Yep. Being generous, good. Yep. Yeah. Having discipline, good. Yep. 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 So you get it. All right. Number one, most people don't know the difference between a principle, a value, and a virtue. This is going to explain it, and it's going to put them in order of 10 principles that, in order to get from point A to point B, point A could be you're a drug addict, and you are a heroin addict, and you're sleeping in bushes. And point B could be just beat the addiction. Not a millionaire, not go back to school. Beat the addiction in a halfway house, in a desert, on a front yard, or in somebody's house. Beat the addiction. And then from there, whatever opens up. Got it? So point A could be an addiction, or point A could be, hey, I've started my gym. Now I want to open up a chain. But I'm bound. I'm bound to this one gym, and I can't seem to expand myself to see the chain and to do the things for the chain. And then you go through the same 10 steps. So the 10 steps that I have, the 10 principles that I have, are in order, although you don't have to really follow the order. Sometimes you do well so good that you jump to 4. And sometimes from 1, you go to 3 and you backtrack to 2 and then come forward again. So it's a path. It is a formula that you can use that is not written in stone, but heads in the right direction. Okay? And it'll help you solve issues. It'll help you initiate movement in your life. Whether the movement is, like I said, out of an addiction, or the movement is to a better relationship in your marriage, or the movement is to bigger business, more money. Okay? So that's what the book is about. It is my first non-fitness book. I am convinced, I've told my wife, I've told my children, convinced 100%, okay, that I am getting ready to go into the best phase of my life. This is where I'm young enough to be able to be vibrant and move and go, but old enough to have a lot of wisdom. And wisdom doesn't come from success. Wisdom comes from overcoming failure and using failure to teach you the most valuable lessons of your life. Done. Done. Courage is not fearless. No, 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 no. Fearless sometimes is stupidity. Courage is proper action in the presence of fear. If there is no fear, there is no courage. Okay? So if there is no wisdom, you're not going to get ahead the way you want. You may make more money, but something will be empty. Something will lag behind. You might have hit the money bag and the relationship is crap. Your personal life is shit. Your social life, there is none. You know? So at this age, I think I'm hitting the sweet spot. And let me tell you, I'm not going through an easy stint. The last 3 years, I've been in an emergency room 4 times, in the hospital 6 or 7 times. I've had 2 surgeries. I almost died from sepsis in late 23. Right now, I have a knee rehab that is the hell of all hells. Not because I'm rehabbing slow, it's because I'm rehabbing what I haven't had for 15 years. So not only do you have to heal from the operation, you got to go after that fountain of youth. And that is just brutal every day. So I'm going through that. So don't think that life is like, no. But staying as loving as you can, as disciplined as you can, as happy as you can, knowing that that you have flaws, okay, in the presence of pain, in the presence of lack of sleep. I haven't slept in 15 weeks, you know. Going about your business and staying disciplined in the presence of hardship, that is what's going to make you wiser and stronger. And that is why I can tell you, I can absorb things today with the pain that I'm going through right now, with all the difficulties that I'm going through right now, personal and physical, all right? In a way that I couldn't do it at 40. I couldn't do this in my 30s, 40s, or 50s. So I'm trying to transpose that into a book, and that's going to be the book. It is going to be my legacy book without a doubt. And it's going to usher in a new era of my life without a doubt. So I encourage all of you to stay tuned. It's going to be out, I would say, in about 3 months. The publisher is already at typesetting at chapter 5. It's got 13 chapters. I just worked out with Greg, my friend of 37 years. Happens to be an insane graphic artist and an OCD literature guy. So he's going through it, typesetting it, beautiful, all that stuff. So in the next few months, 2 months, I would say 3 months, it's going to be ready for publishing, and we're going to have a big signing party here at IHP. When, Rio? November, December?
I would say December, January, but also celebrate 25 years in business as well, too. So it's going to be a legacy year.
Yeah, you know, we will celebrate the 25th year early, you know, and then, or you know what, we'll celebrate it later, because if we release this book, say, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which would be perfect for the holidays, and then you have January, February, March, April, that's almost half a year, you know, so we can throw another party back then and off. And this is the general book. It's got 200 and some odd pages. After that, I am going to be writing workbooks, which will be shorter versions. If this has 200 and some odd, 250, 60 pages, the workbooks will have 100 pages. And the workbook will be workbook for the corporate world, for the family, self-improvement, fitness, all of this different genres of life, different disciplines in life, and how the book applies to those. And so that sets me up for the next 2 or 3 years to get the workbooks in. So it's going to be a great, great project. I hope you're going to enjoy it when it's in your hands, and it coincides with Project Rock.